All right, not everybody's going to like what I have to say here, okay? But sometimes people are justified calling the police because people are playing street hockey or road hockey in front of their house, or basketball or lacrosse. I know. Just hear me out here. Some of these things are it's kind of a rite of passage depending on where you grow up. For me, it was either playing street hockey or road hockey, or when I was really young, it was tipping over the nets of people that were playing street or road hockey. It was causing trouble. Playing basketball, I mean, who doesn't have a basketball, hoop on their street somewhere? And playing lacrosse, well, that's a little bit different. But anyways, I just want to go through these things here. I remember before I became a police officer in the year 2000, there was a story that somebody called the cops because they didn't want kids playing street hockey in front of the house, okay? And you should have seen the pushback in the comment section. Even for me, okay? It was like, what is this? Well, I mean, how petty do you have to be? Certain terms exist now that didn't exist back then for the folks that you want to refer to for calling the police. But listen, after I became a police officer, I kind of understood. And I'm going to explain this to you. All right, I'm going to go through 3 different sports here, which you can commonly see young people play. And the first is going to be road hockey. Again, it's a rite of passage depending on where you grew up. Now, I love seeing young people busy out doing things. And there's always going to be people that are complaining that you're playing hockey on the street and it's dangerous because of cars. But listen, by and large, kids, they know the drill, okay? They're always on the lookout for cars. And if there is a car coming, they yell car, they move the nets out of the way. And it's very respectful. You see this all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. But here's what starts happening after a while. You got some nets that are set up near garage doors, or there's vehicles in the background. And instead of playing with the tennis ball or something not so hard, you got people playing with hard rubber balls, or even what's worse is pucks. And now you got vehicles that are being dinged, they're getting dented. You got garage doors that are getting dented. Even what's worse is a window being broken, and nobody wants to accept responsibility. Even though before the people started playing road hockey, there's been no issues. Nobody wants to accept the responsibility or admit that's what happened. And what are you, if you're the one getting your vehicle dented, what are you supposed to do? You say something to the kids, which is of course a good thing to do, but sometimes their parents get mad at you and it's a fight, and so they call in the police. Obviously that should be a last resort, but the fact is these things are happening all the time. It's the damage. Just be careful with what you're playing with. You don't have to use a super hard puck. You don't have to do slap shots. When there's vehicles in the background and everything else, you don't have to do slap shot. Not even if they're in the background, if they're off to the side. There's not everybody's a perfect shot, okay? Me, case in point, the puck or the ball goes flying off to the side and things are getting damaged. So listen, you just have to think about those things. The second is basketball. I've gotten calls personally as a police officer because somebody was playing basketball. But what was the thing? What was the issue? It was late at night. I'm not talking about 9 or 10. I'm talking they're playing basketball at 1 in the morning. There's a difference, okay? Playing during the day, I think it's good. It's healthy to see people out playing basketball, to be doing things. But when it's midnight or 1 in the morning, even if it's a summertime, it's not summer for everybody. Some people have to get up early. And those suckers, they ring out, okay? They echo. You hear basketball at night bouncing, they're echoing off garage doors, people's windows. Right around the block, you can hear somebody bouncing a ball late at night. This isn't just happening around homes. I'm talking buildings as well, residential neighborhoods, including buildings. I received a call once, and it was probably about 1:30, 2 in the morning, and multiple callers, okay? There was youth playing basketball at a building, and one of the residents went down to say something to them, and next thing you know, the fight's on. And somebody else heard it, and they came out, and the fight was on. Multiple police units had to show up from the neighboring division because it was kind of right at the border, all because something was said because they were playing basketball, and it was like 1:30, 2 in the morning. Somebody did the right thing by saying something, and let me tell you, man, it was a scene, okay? Then everybody was yelling off the balconies. Some were yelling at the cops, but a lot were yelling at the youth because this happens every night. Anyways, I'm just giving an example, okay? There's a difference. There's a time and place. But the problem is, all you hear about the next day, so this is for the basketball and the road hockey, all you hear about is that the cops came, and because there was a noise complaint or something was getting damaged, the cops came and told everybody they can't play anymore. All right. And that's the story. But there's actually a backstory. And the reason why the cops came actually makes sense. There's property damage being done. And listen, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm happy that people are being physical, but there's a time and a place. Okay. Now, what was the third? It was Lacrosse. I hate to sound like such a downer here, but what are you doing in a residential neighborhood with a hard rubber lacrosse ball, bouncing that sucker off the pavement, and your kid or your friend is supposed to catch it in their net and they don't, and it just keeps going and it bounces off curbs and it bounces off one vehicle into another vehicle into a garage door, and then what happens? Well, somebody gets pissed off because there's some dents or some property damage or there's whatever the case is, and the cops get called. But all you hear about is that the cops came and they don't want anybody playing lacrosse. Listen, you don't play with a hard rubber ball on a residential street. Nobody wants that. I get it. It's a fun thing to do. We need young people. We need to be encouraging young people to be more active. I'm all for it. Knocking down hockey nets and running so we didn't get beat up was like one of my favorite things to do as a kid. I'm actually thinking about it now. I would love to keep doing that as an adult, but people may look bad, down on me for that. I just wanted to mention that because it's summertime, school's out, and young people are staying out later and having fun, which is great. Exactly what they should be doing, exactly what I did. Listen, folks, if you have an idea for a video, please leave a comment. I read every single comment, and I respond when it's appropriate to do so. And I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this. And until the next video, be safe out there, look after one another, and perhaps we will see you again.